And you're much alive. And a very good afternoon to you and welcome to the Birrelea Park, home of the Wodonga Raiders for another edition of O&M Live Netball. We're doing it thanks to McRae Motors, proud sponsors of the SSNA, Ovens and Murray, and of course us here on O&M Live. My name's Gus McLeod. Great to have your company, and joining me in commentary once again, back for another week. It's a very good afternoon to Hannah Davies.
G'day Gus, how you going?
Going very well, and this is your home away from home. You're a Wodonga Raiders female footballer, and now's your first time to come and broadcast the Birrelea Park.
I know, it feels good to be here, or 3 nights I should say, so it's always nice to be on home turf, makes it a little more comfortable, I guess.
And joining us once again is Ree Dollarhenty. And Ree, we were chatting before we jumped on air how remarkable the new facilities are here at the Birrelea Park.
Yeah, definitely. And I was thinking the other week, I was wondering where we were going to position ourselves on the old netball court, because I did say to Gus off air that I've run into the fence here as a few players on court have before, chasing a few intercepts and a few tips. So the facilities are brilliant, and the whole facility, including the indoor cricket centre, it just makes it like a real sporting hub out here. And sun's out, vibes are good.
Absolutely, well said. Of course, the old netball court is still a remarkable facility, and part of every growing sporting club is having multiple facilities, Ree. And like you mentioned, for those that are listening on the radio, there's an 8 turf lane for cricket over there. There's an indoor cricket centre. We've got another brilliant netball court, and then we've got arguably one of the best football fields in the country, the Birrelea Park behind us as well. This precinct really does have it all now. And
really nice too. Raiders put a lot of fundraising money into getting their netball facilities, including showers and change rooms and those sorts of things. That happened a couple of seasons ago. So to have 2 netball courts and then the cricket and the footy here as well, it's really, really brilliant.
O&M Live Netball thanks to McRae Motors. Of course, you can check McRae Motors out there on Melbourne Road in Wodonga. Hannah, let's cast our eyes over the SSNA, Ovens and Murray. Of course, we're starting to see some patterns as we head into round 5 in terms of the way the ladder looks, but the teams we're seeing today, we haven't seen them for the whole year, and they're probably 2 of the clubs that we don't know a great deal about in terms of where they belong on the ladder.
Yeah, definitely. They're both sitting on 4th and 5th respectively, and I think that it's going to make today a really tight matchup. We've kind of seen in the past from both teams that it's kind of up to them who decides who wants to be on in that game. You know, we've seen some games from Raiders where they've really put the pedal down and they've come out strong, but we've also seen from the Hoppers that they've done the same against an unexpected opposition the other day, Ree.
Yeah, huge. They toppled Wangaratta Magpies last week, and I think that was probably a shock to everyone in the competition. I was having a look at the game statistics, and a credit to North Albury, they came out with a 17-4 first quarter. So they led from start to finish from there. I did say then their second quarter was only 6 goals. So they went into half-time still with a lead, but probably not as consistent in that second quarter, but then pulled it back and really won both the third and the fourth quarter there. So it'll be interesting to see how they've kind of looked at the data for Raiders and whether they have looked at key matchups and those sorts of things as to how they've planned that game, because I think that's probably how they tackled Wang, and they tried to expose some of the things that they already knew about the Magpies.
Just touching on that game, ladies, before we digress too far, probably the upset of the season to date. North Albury, I think it's been 4 or 5 years since they've beaten the Magpies, and I think the best part about that result, Ree and Hannah, is it shows how open and even our competition is.
Yeah, and if you have a look at the ladder in that between 4th to 6th, there isn't a lot in it. I was having a look at the percentage. North's currently sitting on 99%, as opposed to Wang, who's above them on 115%. I had a look at the for and against and the goals average, which is how we get the percentage. North would need to win by 60 or more today, plus have not many goals scored against them in order to overjump Wang, who have already got that extra game because we're playing the rest of this split round. So I think for North, they'll just want to get the win on the board with a really nice score margin, and then progressively maybe get 1 or 2 more good wins on the board, and they could really bump into that 4th position.
Yeah, it's certainly a tight tussle down there in that that middle of the ladder. Obviously, we've got Corowa, who are just really dominating the competition right now. You can tell they've done really good recruiting, and I think they're going to be hard to knock down, I think.
Yeah, and interesting enough too, like we speak about Lavington being probably a little bit of a dark horse. However, I think that title is slowly seeping away. They're only 3% behind Corowa on top of the ladder. So coming into next week, once everyone's with Yarra having another game today to bring them up to their 5th game, it will be really interesting to see that game. And obviously we've got Corowa versus Yarra next weekend, so that'll be a big game itself.
I think we'll learn off the back of the conclusion of round 6 next weekend, with us getting a full look at Wangaratta, Corowa and Yarrawonga between our established O&M Live netball crew of Hannah Davies and Reid Olahenty. You girls will get a really good gauge on where the competition's at and what separates a few of these top teams from one another.
Yeah, and I think injury and illness, hopefully with it getting a little bit colder, which we're a bit worried about today, with it getting a bit colder, we just hope that those things like COVID don't start to affect teams, so that we can see teams really start to settle into that base 7. So when those top of the ladder clashes come up against each other, they are able to put their best 7 out on court. But even that kind of mid to lower end of the ladder, we want to see them contesting and to be able to put their best 7 on the park as well. The team like Bulldogs, we've seen them contesting quarters, so they want to get a really strong lineup down so that as the season progresses, they come closer to that win, perhaps a couple of wins.
Just want to quickly throw you two under the bus here and get a bit of an inside analysis to Yarrawonga. Yes, they had a win over the Rovers last week, and yes, they had a couple of their star players out. Of course, headlined by Sarah Sanani, arguably one of the best players in the competition. Where do we see the Pigeons at the minute? Because arguably the Rovers improved drastically in a week from the 2 games we saw them. But Yarrawonga internally probably would have been a little bit disappointed with that effort. And
speaking to them directly after the game, they were happy for the win, but really probably said that there was so much room for improvement. So I think they're probably situated in a really good position in that they're in that top 3, so they've got the double chance, but we haven't seen their best netball yet. And
all comps in the country.
Yeah, absolutely. I think for me, what I'm seeing is there's just so many younger players that just step up to that A grade and just take it with 2 hands and really run with it. You know, I'm even looking on court and there's a few of the younger players I've kind of seen around myself on the courts. You know, they're putting in those extra minutes, and it's something you don't see as much in the big cities. You know, for that A grade, you tend to just see the really established 7, and it's really hard to break into it, where I think in country netball, they kind of give you that opportunity and that little push to say, look, we're going to back you and going to put you in. It's just been awesome to see.
Yeah, and I think this year is probably one of the most even years we've seen in quite a long time. So I think it will start to really form the difference between that top end and the bottom end as the weeks progress and teams start to settle in. But I think that battle for fifth is going to be really crucial over the next few weeks. We spoke the last few weeks, the likes of Albury, they've had a couple of really close losses, and whether or not that comes back to bite them at the back end of the season. And then we see North have had a couple of really crucial wins, and whether or not that keeps them in there. So watch this space.
It's O&M Live Netball thanks to McRae Motors. Great to have your company on 2AY or streaming right across the globe with the Ovens and Murray live stream. Hannah, let's cast our eye over the home side, their starting 7 and of course their bench players. The home team today is the Wodonga Raiders.
So starting in goal shooter is Taylor Donnellan. In goal attack, Molly McGrath. Wing attack, Joe Withers. Centre is Maggie St. John. Wing defence, Blaney House. Her sister, Mackenzie House, in goal defence. And goalkeeper, Molly Goldsworthy, with a substitution bench of Lucy Way, Mia Lavis and Shayla House, and of course coached by Jodie House.
Yeah, what a team we've got there, led by the likes of Jodie House. And a really nice inclusion to the Raiders this year is Jo Withers. She's a many game player out at Barnawatha as well. So her experience in such a young club is going to be really paramount. And I really look forward to seeing how she adapts to the competition in that wing attack position. She'll obviously be leading the likes of their young goal shooters, and how she can affect that feed, particularly with Em Brown in centre there. She'll be providing quite a lot of defence on that circle. So I think Jo Withers in that wing attack role will have a lot of work to do, but a lot of experience.
And obviously the House family name is pretty synonymous with Raiders. You're going to be hearing House a lot today, so we'll do our best to make sure you know who is who. Obviously Mum Jodie is coaching, Blaney and Mackenzie are playing, and their dad used to be a footballer at Raiders too. So a lot of teams in this competition are just family born and bred.
Yeah, and interesting too, Mackenzie House will be running out in the goal defence position, which I said to Hannah before the game. I don't think I've seen Mackenzie play there. Traditionally, I've seen her in centre and wing defence, but they're missing Brooke Price this season. Is not playing due to study commitments and work down in Melbourne. So it'll be really interesting to see how Mackenzie adapts to that. We know that she's really fit, really agile and really strong. So I think that tussle between her and the North Albury shooters will be really interesting.
So a really strong lineup for the home team, the Wodonga Raiders, as we turn our attention to the red hot team, the visitors, the North Albury Hoppers. They're on the road today to the Birrelea Park, and they're coming in red hot. Hannah, talk.
They invited me in for an extra session. I did send Em a message afterwards and saying she owed me, because I think it was the coldest night so far this season. So I was cursing her a little bit. But no, it was really nice. The atmosphere was great, and it was a session that I ran between the 17C, B and A. So really nice to see. A notable out for the Hoppers today, who was very, very strong and dominant in their performance against Wang Magpies last week, is Brooke Cannon. So whether or not that's due to illness or injury, I can actually see Brooks over there in her green North Albury hoodie. So great to see that she's still here. So maybe just nursing an injury and getting through this week. But yeah, Em Brown, we've spoken about her a few times. I'm really interested to see how she tackles today, both as a coach and on court.
Not too far away from starting our A-grade O&M Live netball match of the day, thanks to McRae Motors. Speaking of McRae Motors, drove past them on the way here. They've got brand new Malibu boats in the showroom, so wouldn't mind picking up one of them. I'll have to borrow Craig Miller's ute on the way home to drive one of them back with us. O&M Live, thanks to McRae Motors. And girls, before we start the game, let's cast our eye over it. Who do we think is going to win today, and how's the contest going to play out between the Raiders and the Hoppers?
Well, I've got to put Panda under the bus here, because he's broadcast my tips wrong. I did tip North for today. So if you saw that on any of our social media, I did actually take North Albury and not the Raiders. I think North are just going to come into this with a lot of confidence, and they're going to be wanting to build on what they have started last week. So I'm going to go North, but only maybe by about 10. I think it's going to be a little bit closer than perhaps otherwise expected.
I think this is the first week, Ree, that we're going to disagree. I'm going to go for the Raiders. They are, of course, my home team. My heart bleeds red and blue. So I'm going to go Raiders, but I think that if they do get ahead, it's only going to be by 2. So a very tight game I'm expecting for that 4th and 5th position on the ladder.
And we can see the girls coming out here, getting ready for this first centre pass, rallying the troops, coming in for a couple of quick huddles, quick feet, nice and agile, getting nice and warm. And as the wind ramps up a little bit too, it stays like this. I'm enjoying not getting out there in a dress as well.
Of course, a cracking day for netball here. Slightly cloudy, a little bit overcast, but the sun is poking through. When it does, it is really beautiful conditions for winter sport in the SSNA. Ovens and Murray, we're not too far away from the first quarter commencing between the North Albury Hoppers and the Wodonga Raiders. It's great to have your company on 1494 2AY or streaming right across the globe with the live stream powered by Indigo and Wangaratta Computers and Cartwright Productions. It's O&M Live, the netball, the Hoppers and the Raiders. Here's Hannah Davies and Ree Dolahenty.
So Em Brown, captain coach for the North Albury Hoppers, starts us off. We're expecting a strong start from this Hoppers side. A little bit of a tussle there from Blaney House already. And they're just working around the goal circle, taking their time, and intercept from goalkeeper Molly Goldsworthy, but it's called a contact.
And just a little bit of a touch on the arm then from Molly Goldsworthy. They're nice one-on-one tight defence, so expect a couple of those calls to go against the defenders, but they're the ones we want because it slows down the play a little bit in that circle as we see the Raiders coming up with a rebound there defensively and working the ball into their centre third. And a beautiful interception tipped by M. Brown and the ball's spilled out of court.
Now, for those that are listening via the radio, Ree Dolahenty tried to get her first touch of season 2022, but
I was
a little bit slow.
I was limited by the court. I couldn't get far enough, and we see M. Brown another touch again. So expect to see those things all day. She's got the best timing of a netballer that I've got the chance to play against and with.
And there's definitely a bit of wind in the air today, as we've just experienced. We're currently holding down our tent a little bit, but it does...
I'll speak for yourself, Hannah. I am.
Yeah, look, I'm probably not, but it does mean that those wayward passes, you have to be really careful with them on a day like today. Even lobs, would you say, Ree, a little bit risky?
Yeah, and I think too, we won't see a lot of them. There's not a lot of height in either circle, except for Taylor Donlan here in the Raiders goal circle. We're all very quite middle of the range, I'd say. So I think they'll be looking to keep the ball down, short and sharp. And we see a beautiful goal there by Molly McGrath to settle the Raiders off the North Albury centre pass, and Raiders with their first centre pass.
So 1-0 on the Cavalier home scoreboard for the Raiders. And a great little turnover here from North Albury. They lost their first centre pass to the Raiders, so pretty integral that if they want to start strong, they'll build this back. There's Brown, moves it along, wants to hit top of the circle, but a great work from Mackenzie House there.
And great work from Mackenzie too. She took a little 1%er and then was able to regather the scraps as well. So unfortunately though, the attackers have just spilled it with a little bit of a footwork call. So the North Albury girls have it in their goal third, working it down through the middle third now.
So North Albury, a lot of long passes from them so far. So they've just hit the pocket in their attacking third. But I believe a contact call against M. Brown has just been called. So Molly Goldsworthy flies it down to her centre in Maggie St. John. A little 1-2. And McGrath pops out. Again, St. John works it in. And they find Taylor Donnellan under the post, who sinks the Raiders' second goal on the Cavalier home scoreboard.
And really well done then from Maggie St. John. With M. Brown out of play, she was able to have some space and she double played the ball really beautifully down right to their circle edge and into Taylor Donlan. Just with the North Albury girls settling the ball in with a couple of passes around their circle edge, holding strong.
So it's been a really good start for the Raiders in particular in this first Urban Greys quarter. Let's see if the Hoppers can put one on the board.
And a lovely shot there from Sophie Colhagen. She's come into the Ovens and Murray from the Hume League, from the Rand Walla Walla Walbundry Giants. So great to see some youth coming towards an already youthful club in North Albury as we see Raiders, another beautiful pass, straight into Taylor Donlan in their goal circle.
The challenge for the end of the game is I want Hannah Davies from Queensland to try and pronounce the name of the Rand Walbundry Walla Walla Giants cleanly on air.
Oh, look, I said to Ree, she tried to get me to pronounce it before the game, and I said, No.
We'll just stick with the Giants. Great to have your company on O&M Live Netball. 4 minutes gone on the Jacob Toyota used cars time clock. It's a 3-1 lead favouring the Wodonga Raiders on the Cavalier home scoreboard.
And already we can see Shayla House and Molly Goldsworthy doing a really great job one-on-one against the goalers in the North Albury Hoppers. So they're really making it hard for them to get the ball. And coming up trumps getting a few touches. As we see the North Albury girls net a really nice goal there. And now Raiders in reply trying to get the ball into their goal third.
And a beautiful feed there from St John just into the pocket with Molly McGrath, who's taking another one for the Raiders. She'll miss. And I will see what the umpire calls. She's going a throw-in for North Albury just next to the post.
Yeah, I think that's pretty fair. I think Taylor Donlan actually had hands on that and spilled it over the baseline. So a win here for North Albury as they look to move that ball. And unfortunately, again, just a really minor handling error sees Shayla House with the ball in the middle of that centre third.
So it's already an incredibly tough battle. We can see just then between St John and M Brown that every player is going for that ball.
And there'll be some really, really fit girls amongst this Wodonga Raiders team and North Albury as well. But I'm sure someone like Mackenzie House, a trainer at Adrenaline, will have that fitness aspect down pat. So hopefully we can see them really hold it to North Albury for the four quarters and to North as well. As we see young Kelsey Lischke just giving up the ball there with a held ball, but great defence by the Raiders. They made the North Albury girls have to move a couple of times, and now we see the Raiders girls bring that ball down into their goal third.
So a throw in here for the Raiders in the Urban Greys first quarter. So far, a tight battle. Umpire's calling time as we just wait for the ball. Rhea, you were saying it's awesome we have the extra space to run for those tips, but I think it's meaning the ball is travelling very far each time it goes out.
Yeah, hopefully we won't have too many more of those.
So Molly McGrath for the Raiders looks out to her centre third. And St John just working it back with House in goal defence. So struggling to find, and there's the shooter, Taylor Donnellan, sorry. And she sinks another one on the Cavalier home scoreboard to make that 4-2 to the Raiders.
And that was a really nice settling shot there from the Raiders goal shooter in Donlan. But really nice work from Maggie St John's to reset back to their centre third and just find the space. Jo Withers had that space on the goal circle, and we see a nearly reply from Nat Hegney and a quick pull in by Soph Colhagen in the North Albury circle. And another spilled goal. They'll be wanting to make sure they can make the most of those attempts.
So we see North Albury just trying to work it a little bit closer. Rhea, we've spoken in the previous weeks that often when teams are trailing, that accuracy is just so integral. Speaking of accuracy, a great goal there from Soph Colhagen for the Hoppers.
And Soph did a really great job then. They were really well covered again by the Raiders defenders in the circle, but she found the baseline and found the front space with a beautiful ball delivered to her from M Brown.
So Maggie St John again passes out to McGrath, but I believe another player came out to Withers.
Just a little bit of miscommunication which can happen there, but the Raiders girls making the most of it, and a beautiful drive there by Molly McGrath to find the baseline and convert with another goal, which brings our score on the Cavalier home scoreboard to 5-3 in favour of the Wodonga Raiders.
So a quick start here for the Hoppers and a beautiful drive there between shooters. Colhagen passing off to Hegney, and she finishes it off beautifully. So puts the Hoppers back on track for this first Urban Greys quarter. And the Raiders respond quickly, moving it down. Withers looks a little stuck, finds McGrath on the base. A front drive from McGrath, and I believe she was potentially screening to Donnellan, but it's been swept up by Houlihan.
A really nice take then from Tamika Houlihan. She had front position the whole time and really positioned herself well against Taylor Donlan, and a really nice transition of play by North Albury then. That was probably one of their smoothest transitions yet, and a really nice goal to finish.
So it's now 5-all on the Cavalier home scoreboard, and a beautiful pass in there to Hegney, and a great hold from her as well. So for the first time, the Hoppers are up by 1 in this first Urban Greys quarter. The Raiders' Maggie St John takes the centre. Has to look back to House though. Can't find an attacking player, but here's Withers. Again, looking a little stuck, almost lost footwork there.
And having to go back, which is sometimes beneficial, but if you have to do it too many times, it can actually cause that parallel pass. So a credit to the North Albury girls. They've already readjusted and they've started to really pressure the Raiders defensively all over the court a little bit better.
So Molly McGrath shoots for another one. She'll miss, and I believe Houlihan will get the penalty there. McGrath is doing a lot of work in this first quarter so far. Probably like to see Donnellan step up a little bit. She's got the height. I feel like we know she can hold. I think I'd just like to see a little bit more confidence from her.
Maybe a couple of drives out, but she might too be working out what Tamika Houlihan's doing around her and just feeling the waters there as we see Donnellan put up a really nice shot, but unfortunately it comes out, and a really great rebound here from the North Albury Hoppers working through into their centre third, and a really nice pull in by Neve Boyer. I don't think the pass was intended for her, but her eyes were up, and we've now got the ball in the North Albury goal circle, finished off by another beautiful goal by Nat Hegney.
So we've played almost 10 minutes on the Jacob Toyota used cars time clock. O&M Live netball action between the Hoppers and the Raiders.
So the Hoppers work down the court again using that goal circle with M. Brown, and they find Hegney, who's been really consistent under the post. Just a beautiful, confident shot. So it bumps North Albury up by 3 now, 8-5 on the Cavalier home scoreboard. And a beautiful pass into McGrath. Goes to Withers. Finds her balance and finds McGrath again. So that connection between Withers and McGrath is looking really well as McGrath sinks another shot for the Raiders.
Yeah, and well done to Molly McGrath. She's finding a lot of space there behind Maddie Pearson. So I think what Mads will want to do as the game progresses is she'll want to close the gap a little bit, particularly as the ball's getting closer to that goal circle, just to provide a little bit more support to Tamika Houlihan and not let Molly have too much of the run. As we see the Raiders girls working it onto their circle. Jo Withers with a really nice feed into Taylor Donlan. She just couldn't bring it in really strong with 2 hands, and the ball spilled over the baseline for a Raiders throw in about halfway along the circle edge.
I hope her hands aren't as cold as mine are right now. It is pretty nippy around here.
And there is probably one of our 3D lanes highlight of the day, which her name will come up. M. Brown, she's synonymous for taking beautiful balls on the edge of the circle and just pressuring Maggie St. John. Transitioned 2 passes down to the North Albury goal circle and a lovely goal to finish.
So St. John flicks off to McGrath in their centre pass. Withers helps out. St. John again using house on that transverse line, and a little flick over into Donnellan. Will take a mid-range shot for the Raiders and sinks it beautifully. So puts the Raiders trailing by 2 now on the Cavalier home scoreboard.
Oh, and the Raiders girls, both defenders doing a really great job on the line there, but both had their backs to the ball. So M. Brown gave the ball away, but actually got the tip off the ball and then regathered her own play, which isn't a player own because it had bumped another player. But so smart play there from M. Brown as we see Soph Colhagen taking a shot, and it just bumps off the front of the ring. So the Raiders girls looking to bring the ball back strongly in their defence end with a pretty heavy contact there, and recovered well by Molly Goldsworthy and goalkeeper.
A lot of big clashes in this game so far already, as McGrath for the Raiders works it down. Again, House for the Raiders in that centre third. She's always there when they need. The Hoppers get a little hand to it, but it's trailed out, so it's a Raiders throw in here. Working into the goal third. And St. John, a beautiful feed in there to Donnellan. So they finally found their groove. Just need Donnellan to finish it off now. And there she goes. So the Raiders all of a sudden only trailing by 1 on the Cavalier home scoreboard. So puts a little bit of pressure on North as Raiders have this centre pass.
Yeah, and a really nice play then. And as you said, a really nice feed by Maggie St. John. It had the capacity to be intercepted, but just the right amount, as we see one just going a little bit too far and flirting with that baseline. So starting to really push that ball into Donlan, but having to make sure that it's pinpoint accuracy. So the North Albury girls are bringing it down now, and a beautiful touch there from Molly McGrath to get the Raiders back in possession.
So some great work here from the Raiders girls to keep themselves in this game. One more and they're even, which sends a warning to the Hoppers. And there's Donnellan with a beautiful shot in there. So it is 9-all on the Cavalier home scoreboard as M. Brown for the Hoppers takes the centre pass.
And a nice double play there from Neve Boyer and M. Brown in centre and wing attack respectively. The ball from Neve Boyer into the goal circle was a really great one. Probably just had a little bit too much on it, but the defenders of the Raiders' hands got in the way. So North Albury gained the ball again, and a nice goal there from Nat Hegney to finish that play.
So St John for the Raiders takes this centre pass, goes to Withers, McGrath, and St John just works that in nicely with a little bounce pass into McGrath, who can't finish it off. And so a beautiful rebound there from Pearson of the Hoppers.
And really well done by Maddie Pearson. There was a bit of tussling under the circle there, which I liked that the umpire just let it go because it was from both players trying to get that front position. And Maddie had that position, was able to pull it in with two hands, a little fumble, and then regain possession.
So about 30 seconds to go in the first quarter on the Jacob Toyota used cars time clock.
And a beautiful rebound there from Mackenzie House. She has been on fire so far, Ree. And I think we have to credit her wing defence and, of course, sister Blaney House. You know, I haven't said her name as much today because she's just doing that, like that workhorse work where you don't really talk about them as much, but she's got to be contributing to why her sister Mackenzie is performing so well.
And a nice goal from Taylor Donlan then to finish the work, the hard work done by the defence of the House sisters and Molly Goldsworthy in that circle as well. And the North Albury girls looking to capitalise from their centre pass just before we go into the quarter-time break.
Probably got seconds on the clock, so Hegney, another beautiful goal from her.
As the siren sounds for quarter time, a much needed goal, and the North Albury Hoppers will take a 1-goal break into the quarter time address. You're listening to O&M Live Netball between the Raiders and the Hoppers right here on 2AY and streaming right across the globe on the live stream. You're listening to O&M Live, and on O&M Live, you won't miss a thing.
Watching the game at home is good, but watching the game on the big screen with all your mates, all the atmosphere and the great food and beer is pretty hard to beat. And it's all here at the locker room at the SSNA.
0.0% alcohol. This changes everything.
Rewrite the rules. Carlton Zero.
The new Nissan Navara has landed at McRae Nissan with a tougher, more rugged design, Nissan Intelligent Mobility, advanced off-road capabilities, and a host of on-road refinement. Test drive one today at McRae Nissan.
Looking for somewhere great to eat? Check out Social Dining and Bar. And right now, you can get a seafood basket, served with chips, salad and tartare sauce from just $18. Come and be part of it all at Social Dining and Bar at the SSNA.
From entertainment to news and subscriptions in between. Manage select subscriptions in one place with Optus SubHub. Streamline your paid subscriptions and save up to 10%. It starts with yes.
Did someone say KFC?
I don't care. I love it.
Go where you can live and learn locally. Go where there's industry qualified trainers. Go where students come first. Go for the community. Go for the choice of 120 courses across 11 campuses. Go where there's free TAFE. Go for it with GoTAFE.
Adroit Insurance and Risk, your local insurance advisor, able to tailor insurance programs to support your business.
And we're proud to support our local community.
The new Nissan Navara has landed at McRae Nissan with a tougher, more rugged design, Nissan Intelligent Mobility, advanced off-road capabilities, and a host of on-road refinement. Test drive one today at McRae Nissan.
Hi, I'm Kylie King. I first fell in love with this region as the Prime News sports presenter. Sometimes this feels like my second home. I love our historic towns and vibrant cities, our passion for sport, and of course the people who make it special. And now I get to share what's important in our region with Kev Polton. So join us, Kylie and Kev for breakfast, weekday mornings from 6 on 2AY and 3NE.
And on to live.
Welcome back to the Birrelea Park in Wodonga, home of the Wodonga Raiders for O&M Live Netball. It's the Hoppers who lead by 1 goal at the quarter-time break. Hannah Davies and Reid Dolahenty with you on O&M Live Netball commentary, and the Raiders will restart the second quarter.
So Maggie St John for the Raiders will take this first centre pass. Only one change for the Raiders that we can see, and that is Lucy Way in goal attack. And I believe the Hoppers are keeping the same lineup as before.
And a credit to Kelsey Leschke. I think that change has come. We were just talking about she was a real quiet achiever in that first quarter. So I think particularly the last 5 minutes, she really quietened Joe Withers down. So we look to see what impact she can have and if this change for the Raiders changes too much, which a lovely feed into the ball and a nice goal there from Molly McGrath.
So Neve Boyer moves the ball down for the Hoppers. And a great little pick up there from the Raiders already in this second quarter for Urban Greys. So just finding their feet there. House again. She's been integral today. That is Mackenzie House in goal defence.
And they'll be a little bit disappointed with that ball spilling over the sideline because Shayla House had done a really great job to transition that ball. She nearly transitioned it a bit like a centre into that circle, and a little bit of miscommunication. Another ball going really quick into that goal third to the Raiders defenders. But again, they've turned the ball over with a held ball, just trying to get their players back into position.
And a great shot there from Sophie Colhagen in the Hoppers team. Breaking there from the Raiders. That's a coach killer.
And a bit disappointed with there. It looked like the Raiders girls were trying to set up a bit more of a set play on their centre pass. So they had a bit of an overload happening in the corner of their centre third to create a bit of a screen and a bit of space for their mid-court players coming out for that centre pass. But unfortunately, a small breaking error, and then the ball has come back in their favour. But credit to the Hoppers girls, great defence, and they've turned the ball over once again, transitioning it beautifully down into the pocket of their goal third, and then an upset again by the defenders, just getting a little tip and well supported to pull the ball in.
Yeah, great work there from Mackenzie House and Goldsworthy. Just both had a hand on it, so it would have been an impossible pass to pull off. And a great shot there from Donnellan for the Raiders.
And oh, sorry, Hannah, I was just going to say, and that's a really nice goal for the girls to convert. There was a little bit of toing and froing, so it's a nice settler, but it's a credit to the defenders as well. As a defender, you really like when your shooters can capitalise on a really, really great turnover. As we see, the Hoppers a really flawless centre pass into Nat Hegney with another really, really nice goal.
So the Raiders, Lucy Way in wing attack, passes back to House, and then to the other House in Blaney. So McGrath is out, just working it around. It's probably not looking as stable as it was in the first quarter. We've just seen a little replay there from goal defence in Maddie Pearson.
And she's done such a great job to get in front of the ball and just really disconnect the timing. So unfortunately, it was a little bit of a double play call there, but the North Albury girls did a great job, but it's spilled outside on the sideline in their goal third, so they'll be looking to really push the Raiders here to force the error or to come up with the turnover.
So Goldsworthy for the Raiders takes the throw in. Hegney gets a hand on it, so the Raiders will take a second throw in, this time in the centre third. As St John works it down to Blaney House. Crossed away. A lot of loopy passes for this Raiders side at the moment. Still struggling to hit that circle. The ball goes in, but a great hand there from Pearson means a throw in here for the Raiders.
And the North Albury girls really positioned themselves well in that defensive play as the Raiders were bringing the ball down. So they were all kind of on the side of their player where the ball needed to go. So really limiting the options. As we see, the Raiders worked it in nicely, and another nice goal just close to the post from Taylor Donlan. As we see on the Cavalier home scoreboard, the game here is even at 13 apiece. And the North Albury girls spilling their centre pass just in the corner of the centre third, looking to bring it down into their attacking end.
So it's been a tight second quarter for Urban Greys so far. Neither team just able to take a lead at this point. We've just seen a stepping there from the Raiders. So North Albury will have the opportunity to go again. Pass goes a little astray, but they pull it in.
I think North are probably looking to play a bit of a longer game, and credit to the Raiders girls, they're really pushing that and making them have to work for every single ball and really disjointing that long play. So I think the North girls will want to steady that and just play that long game when the space is there, which means they're going to have to do a bit of the hard work to get those shorter passes through, which we just saw, and another great goal finished off by Nat Hegney. The Raiders girls with the ball on their circle edge, Nilly with another 3D Lanes highlight. Play of the day by Emily Brown, just her bread and butter, the ball on the edge of the circle.
Just put her hands up, had a crack, and then just followed through, which is what is important for them. So it brings North Albury up 2 on the Cavalier home scoreboard, and it's their centre pass with M. Brown. So can they push this further? So working the ball down, M. Brown again, she's that playmaker, puts it into Hegney under the post, who's been incredibly accurate. Unfortunately, as I've just said that.
Commentators curse again. I think we've put the mocker on them a couple of times. But you will have seen then M. Brown's pass into the circle was just pinpoint accuracy. And that is the class that she has as a player. She knows where everyone is. She knows the timing of the pass, and she knows what pass to deliver. So expect in this game, and as the season progresses, those passes, and they come at a bullet. I've been on the receiving end, and I've seen some of the ones she's delivered to Sarah Sanini in the past. And there is some power behind them.
So the Raiders, McGrath goes over to St. John and into Donnellan. Another really strong shooter so far today. And she'll get a moment to pause with Houlihan out of play here for contact.
And a nice play there from the Raiders girls. Molly McGrath using the arch of the goal circle to find some space, and her timing was really great, and it opened the baseline for Taylor Donlan, who was uncovered, and they were able to get that ball straight in front, and then to have the defender out of play just gave her that extra second. As we see, Maddie Pearson in goal defence coming up with a beautiful ball on the baseline.
So the North Albury Hoppers have the ball again. Shooter Hegney comes out, and somehow the ball's been kept in. A lot of players getting a hand on it. And so the Raiders work down on the centre edge.
And an apology to our listeners and our viewers. Wing attack is Kitely Willis for the Wodonga Raiders, who we didn't have. So apologies to our listeners there, but we will thankful to have that corrected. And the North Albury girls resettling here with their centre pass, working it down into their goal third, with M. Brown with the ball on the centre edge, looking to get that ball in a bit closer to their shooters, working well with Neve Boyer to the top of the circle, and into Sophie Colhagen in goal attack with another really nice settling goal, Gerard pretty much right under the post, which takes the North Albury Hoppers to a goal in front at 16-15 on the Cavalier home scoreboard.
So a pass in there from Willis, just goes astray, finds the hands of North Albury. And the shooters are out, so a big moving circle for them. Boyer needs the help of Leshke. And again, Mackenzie House just gets another hand on it.
And her defensive pressure has been astounding today, and she'll be able to run like that for the full 4 quarters. And Sophie Colhagen, again, another really nice settling goal under the post, and one of probably North Albury's better plays from the middle of this centre third down to their circle edge, as we just see them spilling the ball again over some great pressure there from Kitely Willis.
Just needed to get the 2 hands on it, the Hoppers did. I think the umpire let that one go because the player only had 1 hand up in the air. So the Raiders, ball in hand of St. John, hits the top of the circle and finds goal attack McGrath. He'll put another one under the post for the Raiders, which takes them to 16, trailing by 1 to the North Albury Hoppers.
O&M Live Netball, thanks to McRae Motors. Hannah Davies, Ree Dolahenty and Gus McLeod with you. It's a 1-goal ball game favouring the North Albury Hoppers. And now scores are level at 17 apiece on O&M Live on the Cavalier home scoreboard.
And that was a bit of a textbook play there from the Raiders. They had the ball in a really nice position right at the top of their circle and just a straight pass into the shooter. Finished off with a really, really nice goal again in the goal attack in Molly McGrath. So the Raiders really putting up a great fight in this defensive end for them, getting the tips and now working that ball through their mid-quarters down onto their circle edge.
So Willis looks into the circle, finds McGrath, and a beautiful ball fires into Donnellan. And a contact there from behind from Houlihan. So Donnellan sinks another one for the Raiders. So again, neither team able to make a break in this game so far. Second quarter for Urban Greys has been just as close as the first quarter.
And a really nice shooter-to-shooter play then by the Raiders girls. But unfortunately on their centre pass, another little 1% error here with a breaking call. So the North Albury girls back in control of this ball, looking to bring it down and get it into their shooters and get that score on the board.
And a miss from the Hoppers shooter. So the Raiders pick up the rebound there. And they'll move across. Mackenzie House fires down to McGrath in the goal third. Moves off to Willis. And a contact here from Houlihan for the Hoppers. So Donnellan takes another shot. And that's a 2-goal lead now for the Raiders on the Cavalier home scoreboard. But the Hoppers have this centre pass. M. Brown, little fumble, but keeps the ball in. And that pass just firing in to Shooter Hegney. It's a little bit risky though, Reece. Almost had that.
It is risky, but I think that's what Em likes to do with the players around her too. She actually brings out the best in them. So she knew that Nat Hegney had the ability to get to that ball. So she pushed it for her and just put it just out of reach of the defender's hands. As we see the Raiders girls with another great opportunity, but a great intercept there from Nat Hegney. I wonder if she's taken on board some of my coaching on Thursday night. No, not really.
Really. It's got to be a 3D Lanes highlight of the day, though. We love a goal shooter intercept.
That's
going to get a run. That'll get a run next week on the show with Robbie and Irene. O&M Live netball for McRae Motors, Hannah Davies, Reed Olahenty and Gus McLeod with you. If you just joined the broadcast, it's a 1-goal lead, 19-18, favouring the Raiders on the Cavalier home scoreboard.
Defensive pressure there from North Albury. Force the ball again over their baseline. Over the Raiders baseline, with the North Albury girls. Just working hard to bring this ball out of their defensive goal third, but great pressure from the Raiders girls. They're really contesting the ball one-on-one, which is making the North Albury girls have to really work and work again and provide lots and lots of drive, which is an exhausting thing on the court, but a credit to the Raiders girls.
So Anne Brown for the Hoppers fires it into her shooting circle. Just under the post for Hegney, who'll finish off another goal for the Hoppers. So once again, that lead the Raiders has is gone. It is 19-all on the Cavalier home scoreboard.
And M. Brown really starting to work her way into this contest. We're seeing why she is regarded as one of the best players in the competition, the coach of North Albury.
Yeah, definitely. And as I said, she just brings out the best in the people around her. So credit to North Albury for getting her to the club there. And I just know she's really loving it. She loves the personnel and she just loves the game of netball and is so talented and so naturally talented as well. So to have her on board and leading them is a credit to them. And I'm sure the girls will contest to that and just say how great an impact she's had as she takes the ball here in the centre third and that running play from North Albury to get the ball into their goal third. Well defended then by Molly Goldsworthy, coming up with the tip, working again great with Mackenzie House, and now the Raiders girls bringing the ball nicely through their centre third, looking to attack onto their circle edge.
So it's almost a battle between the defenders right now. Both ends just working so hard. Great shot there from the Raiders Donnellan under the post. And a Raiders centre pass here with Maggie St. John, whose fun fact for us was that she has spaghetti bolognese before every game.
I wonder how many of our netballers have a few of these superstitions. I do know one netballer from Yarrawonga, Sarah Sanini. She can't wear things on game day. She has to have worn them before game day.
Can't wear it brand new.
Can't wear it brand new. So, for instance, if we got a new netball dress, she'd have to wear it before game day. So there are a few of those superstitions. So I think as we get our player profiles, I wonder if there's some more. I was a pasta person on a Friday night as well. So a really nice settling shot from the Raiders and the North Albury girls. Bring it down into their attacking end. And Nat Hegney with the ball just on the inside of the circle arch. And a great fight there from M. Brown on their circle edge to feed the ball into Soph Colhagen. Finished with a really nice goal. So we see the Raiders taking the lead 21-20 on the Cavalier home scoreboard.
So McGrath out wide, fires it across to the other side of the court with House. It's hit Willis. McGrath again won't take the long range shot. She'll work it into that mid-range. And the umpire calls contact against Houlihan, so Home alone and a shot there for the Raiders pushes them up again to that 2-goal lead. They've had that 2-goal lead a few times today, Ree, but they can't seem to build off it.
Yeah, and 2 goals is only 1 turnover. So it is one of the ones that can just go up and down and up and down. So I think what either the Raiders girls will want to do is if they can get that 2-goal buffer, they'll look to want to push it out to 4 goals, so to turn another centre pass. But credit to the North Albury girls, they've already pulled one back and they are just trailing by 1 at half-time on the Cavalier home scoreboard, 22-21 in favour of the Wodonga Raiders.
Couldn't have said it any better myself, Ree. We'll take a break here on O&M Live Netball. Plenty more to come on the other side. You're listening to O&M Live, and on O&M Live, you won't miss a thing.
Watching the game at home is good, but watching the game on the big screen with all your mates, all the atmosphere and the great food and beer is pretty hard to beat. And it's all here at the locker room at the SSNA.
0.0% alcohol. This changes everything.
Rewrite the rules. Carlton 0.
The new Nissan Navara has landed at McRae Nissan with a tougher, more rugged design, Nissan Intelligent Mobility, advanced off-road capabilities, and a host of on-road refinement. Test drive one today at McRae Nissan.
Looking for somewhere great to eat? Check out Social Dining and Bar. And right now, you can get a seafood basket, served with chips, salad and tartare sauce from just $18. Come and be part of it all at Social Dining and Bar at the SSNA.
From entertainment to news and subscriptions in between, manage select subscriptions in one place with Optus SubHub. Streamline your paid subscriptions and save up to 10%. It starts with yes.
Did someone say KFC?
I don't care. I love it.
Go where you can live and learn locally. Go where there's industry qualified trainers. Go where students come first. Go for the community. Go for the choice of 120 courses across 11 campuses. Go where there's free TAFE. Go for it with GoTAFE.
Adroit Insurance and Risk, your local insurance advisor, able to tailor insurance programs to support your business.
And we're proud to support our local community.
The new Nissan Navara has landed at McRae Nissan with a tougher, more rugged design, Nissan Intelligent Mobility, advanced off-road capabilities, and a host of on-road refinement. Test drive one today at McRae Nissan.
Hi, I'm Kylie King. I first fell in love with this region as the Prime News sports presenter. Sometimes this feels like my second home. I love our historic towns and vibrant cities.
our passion for sport, and of course the people who make it special. And now I get to share what's important in our region with Kev Polton. So join us, Kylie and Kev for breakfast, weekday mornings from 6 on 2AY and 3NE.
You're much on 2AY.
Welcome back to the Birraleigh Park in Wodonga, O&M Live Netball, and it's great to have your company because it is a cracking game of SS&A Ovens and Murray A-grade netball with one goal separating the Hoppers and the Raiders at the half-time break. 22 the home side, the Raiders to the North Albury Hoppers 21 at the main break. Hannah Davies, Gus McLeod and Reed Dollar-Henty with you, and ladies, we've got a really exciting game of netball on our hands at the minute. We can't quite seem to find a team to get their noses in front by more than a goal or two.
Yeah, no, and we spoke about too that 2-goal buffer was there, but it's such a hard one to crack because it is only one turnover. So often you can really get it back to even, and then you can push it out to 2 and you can get it back to even, and then the opposition could. So I think whichever team can get to that 2-goal buffer, then create the turnover and get it to 4, we'll then see maybe that little bit of scoreboard pressure start to ease and then push out a little bit. But we wanted to stay close as well. Hannah and I were both saying, oh, we just don't know. And even in terms of dominant players out there, everyone's kind of doing their role at the moment. It's a really close tussle at both ends. We spoke that probably defensively, both circles and circle defenders, the units are working really well and forcing a lot of turnover ball.
And they do call this the championship quarter, the third quarter for Martin's Travel Group Albury. So I'm expecting, Ree, that someone is going to pull out here, if maybe even by 5 goals. I think whoever can bring it in this quarter and just push ahead should be set for the last quarter. For changes, North Albury have one change, and that is Maddie Leschke in the wing attack. She's the sister of Kelsey Leschke in wing defence, so another family affair for the Hoppers as well. She plays in the under-17s, and she's an Albury rep player as well. I've seen her on the Monday night. She is very good, but a little bit young, so I'm interested to see how she can blend with the experience of someone like M. Brown in centre.
Which might be why they're giving that run there, just to see what she can do. Obviously, very raw, very young, and just to see how, she can complement M through that mid-court. As we see Taylor Donlan sinking a really nice goal to start the Raiders, particularly off their centre. So they've got that 2-goal turnover buffer, and they lead 23-21 on the Martin's Travel Group scoreboard.
And Donlan here for the Raiders in goal shooter has really built herself into this game. She's a little bit shaky on the accuracy when we first started, but she's been excellent since probably that second quarter. And another turnover here for the Raiders, who are having a cracking start to this third quarter for Martin's Travel Group Albury. And we said it before, can someone push out to that 5-goal margin, put a little bit of scoreboard pressure on their opposition?
Oh, and an uncharacteristic ball there from Willis in wing attack. She had a little shot at the goal. It just
is that a goal attempt?
We can't put it down as a goal attempt, and it just spilled off the front of the goal. And we see the North Albury girls, transition the ball beautifully, and a nice finishing and settling goal there from Sophie Colhagen, who has put up some really beautiful shots today, and we'll look to see her accuracy continue as the game progresses.
So the Raiders with Willis fires it into Donlan, a mid-range shot for her, and again, the accuracy is great. So pushes the Raiders up 25-22 on the Martin's Travel Group Albury scoreboard.
And the North Albury girls will be much happier then. They were able to get some space for their centre pass, and a really great effort there defensively from Willis on the third edge, but she was offside. So the North Albury girls have it just in their attacking third, now with Nat Hegney in the ball about halfway in their circle.
A great rebound there from Goldsworthy. And of course, sister Zali Goldsworthy is a cracking young AFLW player who will very likely be drafted at the end of this year into the next AFLW season.
And Molly Goldsworthy as well, playing against her old club in the North Albury Hoppers. So nice to see a little bit of change and some great defensive pressure in the Raiders goal third from Maddie Pearson, just going with the outside arm. And we've got, I think, maybe an injury timeout here from Taylor Donlan. So just looking to see what happens to the Raiders tomorrow night.
A little bit of strapping on her right knee there. Unsure if that's perhaps why it's happened.
Oh, and it wasn't actually an injury time. My apologies. It was for the ball spilling out of court, but she looks really uncomfortable. So hopefully she can just take a couple of deep breaths and get back into the zone of this game.
And look, credit to her. It's been incredibly physical in that circle, as you can see. Both ends, I will say, have just been going for every ball. As we see Willis fired into McGrath. So perhaps a moment for McGrath to step up now and lead her shooter. And Donlan just can't pull it in. So a little bit shaking there to give North Albury a shot to come back from this lead the Raiders have built.
Almost 4 minutes gone in the third quarter on the Jacob Toyota used cars time clock. The Wodonga Raiders and the North Albury Hoppers on O&M Live Netball with a 3-goal lead favouring the Raiders on the Martins Travel Group Albury scoreboard.
And great work from Maddie Pearce, and then she had to do quite a bit of work bringing that ball transition down, but double played it really nice. Then the space opened up closer to the North Albury circle with a really nice ball going in and a great finishing goal, which brings them back in touch. 2 goals, 1 turnover. The Wodonga Raiders are leading 25-23 on the Martins Travel scoreboard.
So Willis fires it into McGrath, but Pearson gets another hand on it. We don't have stats, but I'd be incredibly interested to know what the penalty count of the defenders are today. They've been going at everything, and it's kind of been 50-50. Half are kind of going their way, the other half aren't. And there's Donlan, a little settler for the Raiders there, and for her in particular.
So O&M Live Netball, thanks to McRae Motors, the Hoppers and the Wodonga Raiders with Hannah Davies and Reed Dollarhenty on 2AY.
So a throw in here for the Hoppers attack. Pops it over to Hegney, who falls out of court. So Colhagen, a beautiful long shot there for her.
And those two are just working that circle really nice. They've got a really nice partnership in that they are both moving shooters, but they've found a bit of a balance already to start this third quarter. And credit to Nat Hegney then. She was falling out of court, was able to get a really well-weighted ball onto Em Brown on the edge of the circle, who was then able to feed it in nicely to Soph Colhagen. As we see the Raiders girl really under pressure of this one-to-one defence, which has seemed to be the pressure's been upped by the North Albury girls already in this third quarter. And a credit to them, Tamika Houlihan coming up with a really nice spillage of a ball down on ground level.
So North Albury trailing by 2, so they'll need this goal as they work it into their goal third. Hegney fires it across to Em Brown, who's almost too fast for her own good, almost flies off the court there. And a missed goal there, so the Raiders' defence has been on fire today. They pick it up.
And Goldsworthy and Molly Goldsworthy, and Mackenzie House have done a great work there under the ring. So whenever the Hoppers girls have been putting up their shots, the girls from the Raiders end have been really trying to box them out and getting that front position. So if there are any rebounds, they've got first grab at it. And we see Molly McGrath down in the Raiders end taking another shot about halfway out, finishing it with another great goal for the Martins Travel Group Albury scoreboard. And the Raiders now leading 27-24.
So still only leading by 3, and here's a turnover they'll take. The ball fires over the hands of the Hoppers, so Raiders Goldsworthy will take a throw in. Goes to her defensive partner in House, but a little hand by Leshke means a throw in for the Raiders here. So Blaney House, and the umpire's calling it on court with a contact against Hegney from the Hoppers. And a beautiful long ball in there from Mackenzie House. Could have been a goal assist there from the goal defence.
And unfortunate there for Donlan, that ball spilling out with a rebound, just coming off the back of the ring, which we don't see often. They fall off the front of the ring and come back, but that one bounced off the back. So unlucky, because the Raiders girls have done a great job to get that ball down. As we see young Maddie Leshke, she found a little bit of space then. I would like to see her not come so far up into this centre third, because I think it's leaving the attackers just with a little bit of extra work to do. But she certainly found a little bit more space, as we've got a little goal assist from her there into Nat Hegney, and goal shooter, and that ball just trickles in. So the North Albury Hoppers now trailing by 2 on the Martins Travel Group scoreboard at 27-25.
So I was hoping someone would pull away in this third quarter for Martin's Travel Group Albury, but it seems it's just as close as the first two. The Raiders here, McGrath and goal attack, will take a mid-range shot to push the Raiders ahead, brings them to 28.
And smart play, by McGrath then. She had all the space in the world because the defenders had made a 2-on-1 with Donlan. So she came on that drive, and credit to her mid-court support. They saw her there and just fed the ball really nicely.
It's a little fumble of the hands there from the younger Leshke and Maddie, but a great feed in leaves the Hoppers with another goal.
She doesn't seem perturbed by the pressure out there either. There is a lot of youth out on this court, but they are really matching it 1-to-1 and putting the pressure on defensively all over the court. As we see Taylor Donlan taking another nice goal there for the Raiders just on their baseline.
Looked a little shaken there a few minutes ago, but she's definitely come back into this game and found her accuracy again, Donlan. As the other side of the court, we see goal attack in Colhagen. Little fumble there from the Hoppers, so a turnover.
Mackenzie House getting her hands on the ground ball then. She's done an exceptional job just really pulling in the scraps of those 1% balls and really leading through this centre third. A great pick up there from the alternate goal defence for the North Albury Hoppers in Maddie Pearson. So as we said just at the start of this quarter, both defensive units doing a really exceptional job to combat the attacking ends, and we see a really nice drive there from Maddie Leshke, getting her to the top of the circle. So the North Albury Hoppers with the ball in Nat Hegney's hands, and a nice goal to finish, bringing them back within 2, with the Raiders leading 29-27 on the Martin's Travel Group Albury scoreboard.
So Mackenzie House again moves the ball down for her team. Donlan, and goal shooter, fires it into her partner in McGrath. And a beautiful shot to finish there. So keeps the Raiders ahead by 3, 30-27 on the Martin's Travel Group Albury scoreboard.
So 10 minutes gone in the third quarter on the Jacob Toyota used cars time clock.
And the North Albury girls will probably be a little bit disappointed there. That was a bit of a scrappy play, but again, made really hard to get the ball in by the defensive pressure of the Raiders girls. Blaney House just running one-on-one there with Maddie Leshke. As we see the Raiders girls bring it out of their goal third in the hands of Molly Goldsworthy to Kitely Willis coming through, but another 3-day lanes highlight of the day from Em Brown coming through for the intercept in the centre. Matched again by Molly Goldsworthy. A nice little tip of the ball, and to come up with those scraps with 2 hands as the Raiders girls looking to transition from their defensive end.
Goldsworthy has been an absolute standout for the Raiders today, as is her partner in defence, Mackenzie House. They've just been going for everything and really putting their body on the line. Just a few minutes ago, Goldsworthy actually took a stack trying to get an intercept and managed to get the throw in. As we see Donlan for the Raiders sink another one, so it really rewards that intercept there from Goldsworthy.
And it does, and it took them a little while to get there. The pressure from the North Albury girls, particularly through this centre third, made them have to really find the space. But once the space was there, it was a really nice long ball and then into the circle to an undefended player. As we see Tamika Houlihan just out of play for a little bit of a mistiming over the shot, and the shot then converted by Molly McGrath, which takes Raiders to this 5-goal lead in the third quarter for the Martin's Travel Group Albury.
And the reason I was begging for that 5-goal lead is it just puts a bit of scoreboard pressure that clearly Colhagen from the Hoppers is not feeling with that amazing long bomb. But yeah, it just puts them on notice a little bit that, you know, it is the third quarter. They've only got one more after this, and that they need to pull it back now. So McGrath for the Raiders goes back to House again. Good hand on there from Em Brown.
Another little 1% tip. The play that I'm interested in is probably both ends, but down in this Raiders attack end is Kitely Willis and Kelsey Leshke. It's been quite a close battle, so we haven't probably said their names a lot, but I think that's because they're running really hard one-on-one, so they're making it very hard for one another, depending if the Raiders are attacking or then North Albury are on that transition back to their attack end, with a miss there from Molly McGrath for the Raiders, and now the North Albury Hoppers looking to transition this ball into their attacking third.
So Leshke fires it down to a goal attack. And good moving around, good patience from Maddie Leschke. And another long bong from Cole Hagan, who is just building it up. I feel like the pressure's on and she's loving it.
Yeah, just really calm and really well done then from Maddie Leschke. There were two really long balls in a row. She was able to land steady, hit the circle edge, and then give the short ball into Cole Hagan.
So Hagney finishes off another one for the Hoppers, and you blink and they're within 2 again. So that 2-goal margin, we're never escaping it.
Oh, Molly McGrath will probably be a little bit disappointed there, a little bit of miscommunication, but lucky because it was a little bit of a touch. So the Raiders girls with the ball right on the edge of their attacking third, and the ball now in Kitely Willis's hands with a nice feed into Taylor Donlan. And unfortunately, just rebounding again. And well done to Tamika Houlihan bringing that in. So that may be one of our 3D lanes highlights of the day, particularly if North can convert and bring this to a 1-goal margin again.
So Em Brown using that playmaker role that she does so well to bring the ball down. Another great shot from Cole Hagan, who is just loving that long range. And they will be rewarded as it is the Hoppers' centre pass now. So they trail by 1, the Hoppers, on the Martins Travel Group Albury scoreboard. And Leschke in wing attack moves it down to her shooter Hagney. And a miss there from her, and we know the Raiders girls are great at rebounding, and there it is, Goldsworthy with another one.
And using her body really cleverly then, she positioned herself so that Cole Hagan couldn't, Nat Hagney, couldn't come through to that front position. And we see nearly the replica down the other end from Maddie Pearson, and Raiders spilling the ball through the likes of Em Brown again, getting her hands in the way. So Kelsey Leschke now with the ball off to sister Maddie Leschke in this defensive half of their centre third. And now the run's on in the hands of Em Brown to Nat Hagney.
And great work there from the Raiders again. Another intercept. They're only up by 1 now, so this goal is really important for them to keep that slight lead.
As the siren sounds for 3/4 time, we've got a 1-goal ball game as we take our final break. 32 plays 31, favouring the Wodonga Raiders, and a big 4th quarter coming up on the other side of the break. It's O&M Live Netball, thanks to McRae Motors, and on O&M Live, you won't miss a thing.
Watching the game at home is good, but watching the game on the big screen with all your mates, all the atmosphere and the great food and beer is pretty hard to beat. And it's all here at the locker room at the SSNA.
0.0% alcohol. This changes everything.
Rewrite the rules. Carlton 0.
The new Nissan Navara has landed at McRae Nissan with a tougher, more rugged design, Nissan Intelligent Mobility, advanced off-road capabilities, and a host of on-road refinement. Test drive one today at McRae Nissan.
Looking for somewhere great to eat? Check out Social Dining and Bar. And right now, you can get a seafood basket served with chips, salad and tartare sauce from just $18. Come and be part of it all at Social Dining and Bar at the SSNA.
From entertainment to news and subscriptions in between. Manage select subscriptions in one place with Optus SubHub. Streamline your paid subscriptions and save up to 10%. It starts with yes.
Did someone say KFC?
I don't care. I love it.
Go where you can live and learn locally. Go where there's industry qualified trainers. Go where students come first. Go for the community. Go for the choice of 120 courses across 11 campuses. Go where there's free TAFE. Go for it with GoTAFE.
Adroit Insurance and Risk, your local insurance advisor, able to tailor insurance programs to support your business.
And we're proud to support our local community.
The new Nissan Navara has landed at McRae Nissan with a tougher, more rugged design, Nissan intelligent mobility, advanced off-road capabilities, and a host of on-road refinement. Test drive one today at McRae Nissan.
Hi, I'm Kylie King. I first fell in love with this region as the Prime News sports presenter. Sometimes this feels like my second home. I love our historic towns and vibrant cities, our passion for sport, and of course the people who make it special. And now I get to share what's important in our region with Kev Polton. So join us, Kylie and Kev for breakfast, weekday mornings from 6 on 2AY and 3NE.
And on 2AY.
Welcome back to O&M Live Netball at the Birrelea Park. It's a one-goal ball game, 32 plays 31, favouring the Wodonga Raiders, and it's great to have your company on 1494 2AY. The fourth quarter's about to get underway, thanks to Martin's Travel Group in Albury with Gus McLeod, Hannah Davies and Reed Dollar-Henty with you. This game is going to go to the wire. Keep your dials locked to 1494 2AY.
So the Raiders currently leading by 1 on the X-Ray Group scoreboard in this Martin's Travel Group fourth quarter. One change from the Raiders though, and that is wing attack in Blaney House, which of course swaps out Willis into wing defence. As we see McGrath take the Raiders' first shot of this quarter and sinks it. Puts them up by 2 on the X-Ray Group scoreboard.
And a change too for North Albury. Both teams changing their wing attack and wing defence. So obviously feeling that they just need a little bit of stronger drive. Perhaps, Neve Boyer's coming on fresh in wing attack for North Albury. And we can see Nat Hegney finishing their first centre pass of this third with a nice goal. So, yeah, Neve Boyer retaking the court in wing attack. And also Sophie Sir coming on in wing defence for the North Albury girls. As we see them turning over the Raiders girls' centre pass and bring the ball into their goal third, right on the baseline with Nat Hegney. And a nice feed there from Neve Boyer, really putting Soph Colhagen under pressure, but credit to her. She's come up with the scraps and chased and now finished it with another goal from probably 3/4 out of the circle. So well done to the North Albury girls. That brings them to level on the X-Ray Group scoreboard at 33 apiece and their centre pass to play.
Ree, I don't know if we could have predicted that this game would have been this close. It has been neck to neck today, and we'll see the Raiders take a throw in here.
And probably credit to Molly Goldsworthy then. That call could have gone either way. And if I was there, I would be chasing that ball out of court, which is what Molly Goldsworthy did, and played it if there was a little bit of uncertainty there. And the ball, again, M. Brown getting a nice little tip on the circle edge. So the Raiders girls resetting here in their pocket of their defensive third, in the hands of Maggie St. John now, right up at our centre third edge.
It's a bit of a sneaky trick there. Act like the throw-in's yours, and it well could be if the umpire wasn't sure.
It works in basketball.
I'm sure it does. So the Raiders here, a good hand in there from wing defence in Sophie Sir. As McGrath again works it around Donnellan. She's remained in that goal shooter position all day, and she's been really reliable as she is there, which puts Wodonga Raiders up by 1 on the X-Ray Group scoreboard.
The ball just getting passed around here by the Raiders girls in the attacking half of their centre third, with Taylor Donlan now taking a kind of mid to long range shot, but the hands of Tamika Houlihan just getting pulled up there, which gives her a second shot, which rolls out. And now the North Albury girls having the ball right on that baseline, looking for a nice transition here through into their goal third. And a great take there under pressure from Molly Goldsworthy by Nat Hegney. Finished off with another strong goal, bringing the North Albury girls back to level 34 apiece here for the fourth quarter for Martin's Travel Group on the X-Ray Group scoreboard.
So M. Brown here for the Hoppers, goes to Boyer. One of the tallest wing attacks in the league, I would say, at 180 centimetres. And it could very well have the leverage there on Willis.
And a little contact call there, and I'm wondering if perhaps why that made that little bit of height change, just to give them a little bit of an edge on that circle edge. And Nat Hegney posting another really nice mid-range shot there. And we now have Maggie St John with the ball in the Raiders' centre pass, looking to work it down onto their circle edge.
So Blaney House in wing attack now. She's switched over from wing defence. Bit of fresh legs for the Raiders. As McGrath can't hold on to the ball, so the Hoppers will move down. Houlihan goes to Brown. And Boyer, a really fast transition here from the Hoppers. But a great hand there from Goldsworthy.
And it was an eventual contact there. I was kind of wondering if the call would come, but they've been a great tussle. And credit to Soph Colhagen, she's actually found a lot of space. I saw Mackenzie House just sag off a little bit into their defensive centre third to create a little bit of confusion for Nat Hegney, but Soph Colhagen found the space and settled with another nice goal. So we see the North Albury Hoppers now take the lead 36-34. So that 2-goal buffer just changes it. And again, we're out to 3 for the X-Ray Group scoreboard. So that is the North Albury Hoppers leading here 37-34.
And that 3-goal lead will be integral as we've got about 10 minutes left to go on the Jacob Toyota used cars time clock. So 10 minutes left. Can the Raiders push back on their home ground here at Birrelly Park in Wodonga?
And the defensive pressure under both under both goals is phenomenal, with Taylor Donlan then sinking a nice goal after some pretty heavy defensive pressure, which is coming at both circles, as we see Nat Hegney again under the post, and a really nice settling shot there for the North Albury Hoppers, taking the lead now 38-35 on the X-Grey Group scoreboard.
So the home team, the Raiders, trail by 3, as we know, need to make a difference here. House goes over to St John, and St John a little stuck, so has to go back to Mackenzie House in the centre third. Not ideal. Again, the Hoppers' defence making it really difficult for the Raiders players to put it in the hoop.
And a nice effort there from Sophie Sir on the circle edge, just falling offside, and again just really trying to put the pressure on and making them having to change up, as we see the Hoppers circle defenders in Maddie Pearson and Tamika Houlihan really working the ball around, with Maddie Pearson just being put out of play there for just being a little bit less than 3 feet.
So 6 minutes passed on the Jacob Toyota used cars time clock, and Donnellan sinks another one for the Raiders as M. Brown for the Hoppers takes a centre pass. They're up by 2 on the X-Ray Group scoreboard. Can they make it 3? As Boyer fires it down into Hegney, but it goes too far.
Yeah, probably not the best pass. It probably might have been better to use a triangle there. And Brown had all the space on the circle, so the ball could have come out to her and then fired into Nat Hegney. But in a ball game as this, where it's only 2 goals, those kind of thinking are a little bit harder. And there we have it. Probably a contender for our Urban Greys Play of the Day. And Brown just coming through with a really nice touch. And Molly Goldsworthy again for the Raiders. She's been in everything. Just those little 1%ers. Again, probably another contender for the Urban Greys Play of the Day.
And a little fumble here from Mackenzie House. Had a crack at it, but she'll be caught out for contact by the umpire just inside the goal circle. As we see Colhagen, little pass down to Hegney. And sinks another one. So the visitors take a 3-goal lead in the X-Ray Group scoreboard. We said that the third quarter might be the championship quarter, Ree, but I think the fourth quarter for Martin's Travel Group, Albury, might actually be that instead.
Oh, and bad luck to Tamika Houlihan. She read that really, really well and came out fishing, but it just went through her hands. But well done to Taylor Donlan to grasp that ball, and unfortunately missing the goal with the rebound. But the Raiders girls have managed to regain possession, and Molly McGrath now putting up a really nice shot. So again, we've got a 2-goal margin here in the Martin's Travel Group fourth quarter, with the North Albury Hoppers leading 39-37. We're just a little change in personnel here. Wing attack, Joe Withers retaking the court, and Blaney House going back down the other end into wing defence for the Raiders.
Rhea, I've got to say, we're 8 minutes into the fourth quarter for Martin's Travel Group. Do we think that's a legitimate injury, or is that a we're down by 2 and we need to win this?
Who knows, but you can pull out all stops, and there is the class of Em Brown. 2 against 1, and she still takes a really, really strong ball to get the ball into her shooters. Finished beautifully by Soph Colhagen, who I think might be another contender for our Urban Greys Player of the Day. Particularly, some of the shots that she has taken has really brought North Albury back into the game. They are leading 40-37 in this fourth quarter for Martin's Travel Group.
I'm really wondering, though, if putting Blaney House back into wing defence where she's been all day. Of course, she's now against Neve Boyer. We said it, she's a little bit taller. I'm wondering if someone as tenacious as House can bring the Raiders back into play. I'm going to call it, I think it was tactical. It was not a real injury. And I think that they're hoping that that's going to make the difference here. And it could be, as the Raiders just fumble the ball out again.
Yeah, and disappointing. Taylor Donlan did a really, really great job then over the baseline. She tapped the ball back in, and Withers had control of it, but then it just got spilt over the baseline again. As we see Tamika Houlihan with the ball here. I think maybe a contact ball, a contested possession there from Molly McGrath. Maddie Pearson now with the ball to Sophie Sir. On to Neve Boyer. They're halfway in their centre third, looking to really attack and put a little bit more of a buffer on this scoreboard for the X-Ray group.
So the Hoppers head down into their goal circle. They're leading by 3 on the X-Ray group scoreboard. It's not a lot. It's not enough to be confident that they have the win yet. But if they can sink another one here, it'll make it 4, which will give them a lot more confidence as we hit 10 minutes on the Jacob Toyota used cars time clock. A miss there from Hegney means the Raiders have another chance here to pull it back on the X-Ray group scoreboard. Still trailing by 3. And you can see, Ree, it's getting physical out there.
It is getting physical, but what I love is that the intensity is there, and it has been from start to finish. So every little loose ball is being contested by someone. There's lots of hands in, and those little tips are happening, and it's just toing and froing at the moment. So credit to the Raiders girls. They were able to really stamp their authority on the possession, and now they're looking to get it into their circle with an obstruction call, I think, on Tamika Houlihan. So Molly McGrath with the ball on their circle edge into Taylor Donlan, who sinks a really another nice, probably half range shot. And the Hoppers still leading here by 2 goals on the X-Ray group scoreboard with less than 5 minutes to go in this last quarter, thanks to Martin Travel Group.
It's going to be incredibly tough, and we see an absolute 3D Lanes highlight of the day there from Molly Goldsworthy, who's just been a standout in that goalkeeper position for the Raiders. Another intercept for her name. And the Raiders trailing by just 2 on the X-Ray group scoreboard. If they can push this back to 1, it's anyone's game again.
And again, we see another hand, just that little tip with the scraps getting pulled up, and Em Brown using her class and knowledge of how to use her body then to get the ball in the Hoppers' favour as they transition it beautifully down to their circle edge, looking for a little bit of space to bring this margin, hopefully, for them back out to 3.
So the Hoppers looking a little bit frantic. Understandable, they're only up by 2 on the X-Ray group scoreboard. I think their shooters are showing some nerves here. A couple of unlucky misses here in this fourth quarter for Martin's Travel Group Albury.
And the North Albury Hoppers converting another goal, taking it out 41-38. And I'm not exactly sure, maybe a breaking call here, which the Raiders, they'll be kicking themselves because such a close game. They're the 1%ers with this time on the Martin's Travel Group. Ticking down in the Jacob Toyota time clock. We've got less than 3 minutes to play in the last quarter, and the North Albury girls up 41-38. And a miss there from Nat Hegney, and a really great rebound from Mackenzie House.
So less than 4 minutes to go here on the Jacob Toyota used cars time clock. It's ticking down, and the Raiders trailing by 3. Here's Donnellan. Can she make it 2? She can't, but she'll get an obstruction call here from Houlihan.
Oh, and a little bit of missed timing there on the rebound from both the goal shooter and the goalkeeper, but well timed again off the circle edge for M. Brown, bringing that ball down. And the Hoppers girls transitioning it nicely. We look them take it to now a 4-goal lead on the X-Ray Group scoreboard in favour of the North Albury Hoppers, 42-38, with less than 2 minutes to play in this fourth quarter.
So Ree's right, less than 2 minutes on the Jacob Toyota used cars time clock. Is it enough for the Raiders to come back from 4? Possibly not.
I was thinking then a couple of minutes ago, I was thinking, well, we might have our first draw and we don't go into golden points. So, but credit to both teams. I think we can safely say that the defensive pressure from both teams has been outstanding. But as well as that, the shooters really coming to and putting pressure on each other. And the Raiders then getting one from a North Albury centre pass. So now on the X-Ray Group scoreboard, the North Albury Hoppers leading 42-39.
So McGrath for the Raiders puts them back within 2 on the X-Ray Group scoreboard, 40-42. And M. Brown for the Hoppers, captain and coach. And a beautiful intercept there from Mackenzie House of the Raiders. She is just grinding this game out. She wants her team back in the mix. You can see it. She'll go to sister Blaney House. I've got to say, potentially that move taking Blaney House out of wing defence in this last quarter may have been what's unravelled the Raiders.
Yeah, I'm not sure. We've got less than 30 seconds to play here, and the North Albury Hoppers leading by 2 goals in this last quarter, with the Raiders girls having an opportunity to bring it back to 1 in the hands of Molly McGrath halfway on their baseline. Sinking, close to, but a great rebound from Donlan. And McGrath settling it.
Does it. So it's a Raiders centre pass with, we think, less than 10 seconds to go. Hands in McGrath. Donnellan's holding the girls. I hope they can hear me. They need to fire it down as soon as they can. The clock is ticking on the Jacob Toyota used cars time clock. This is integral for the Raiders. They need to get it in there. And a ball to Donlan under the post. Time is ending at any moment right now.
And we have a draw here on the X-Ray Group scoreboard, 42-42, with the Raiders coming up with a little fumble there, a little 1% error, I think a breaking call, and the ball is in Maggie St. John's hands. So 42 apiece. We have our first draw for season 2022.
I haven't said much in this fourth quarter. What I will say, I'd love to bring in a golden goal. Well, there's no words to describe it. It's a cliffhanger for the final quarter here on O&M Live. And ladies, we're going to have to discuss on air who's our Urban Greys player of the day, because in a draw, it's very hard to split them.
It is very hard, and I think we spoke about both defensive units have done really well. I think probably Molly Goldsworthy took a couple of late intercepts, which perhaps were her timing, but a little bit of placement of the ball. So I think she's looking like she could be a real contender there. Really well supported by Mackenzie House and the likes of Soph Cole-Hagan in goal attack for North Albury. Really brought North Albury back into that game. So they'll be a little bit disappointed in the end there that they haven't come away with the win, particularly getting up by 4 or 5 goals midway through that last quarter.
It really was a remarkable end to the O&M Live netball coverage today, with the Raiders literally scoring with 5 seconds to go to level the scores, Ree.
Oh, that was exciting. I love games like this, but we said it would be nice if we could have golden point time. I've played in a few finals games where they go to golden point, and it's exceptional. And we have our Urban Greys player of the day here in Mackenzie House. Congratulations, Mackenzie, and well done, a draw. How do you feel?
Oh, I think we saved that one. Bit of a lucky one there at the end. Would have been nice to have a win, but draw is better than a loss.
And credit to you girls, because you found yourselves down by 4 or 5, probably about midway in that last quarter. Obviously, a few different personnel on the court.
Yeah.
Yourself in goal defence.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a little bit newer for you from that centre third. How are you finding working with Molly Goldsworthy? Because you guys combined really well today.
Yeah, no, it's been awesome. We're super lucky to have Moll on board this year. I'm loving playing back there. I used to play goal defence in my juniors, so it feels good to be back defending again. I'm enjoying it, yeah.
Mackenzie, we're riding that whole game with you. I'm a Raiders footy player myself, so it's kind of hoping the Raiders will get the win. Is this probably the toughest game you've had so far in terms of that scoreboard pressure?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Going goal for goal is always challenging, but I think we've got a very young bunch of girls out there, so to kind of keep our heads cool then towards the end, get a couple of turnovers was good. Yeah, good outcome.
And probably really great to put out a 4-quarter effort. We've seen that probably in your games so far this season, you guys have put together 1 or 2 really consistent quarters, but perhaps not as many 4-quarter efforts. Would you say that?
Yeah, absolutely. I think everyone gave it their all towards the end there, which is something we've been working on, been working hard at training so that we can work through a full game rather than just be solid for a half. So I think that definitely showed towards the end there.
And of course, Mackenzie, I guess you're happy to get the draw, but it does mean you couldn't quite push to win it. What do you take away from this game so that next time when it's that close, you can get the one on them?
I certainly think, like recalling the game then, there was a few unforced errors that we can definitely clean up, the things where we give them back the ball when we just make mistakes that are unnecessary. So to work on that, keeping our heads will be something that can improve us for sure.
Awesome. Well, congratulations, our Urban Greys Player of the Day, Mackenzie House for the Wodonga Raiders.
Thanks, guys. Thank you.
Well, what a game, Bree. It went down to the wire. You called North, I called Albury. I guess we kind of both won there.
I don't know if they give out half points, but a really, really fantastic game. And I think credit to the Raiders girls. They really put the pressure on North, who we tipped at the would probably be on a bit of a roll after their really convincing win against the Magpies. But again, looking back at our ladder, Raiders are sitting there just behind North. So with the draw there, when we get down to the wire as this season continues to unfold, maybe this one might come back to bite whoever ends up in that 5th place.
Well, they both had chances to score late in the game, and potentially North Albury's defence a little bit slack towards the final bit. Our clock had 16 minutes. We'll have to double check with the timekeepers. I reckon their one's a lot more official, but that's country netball at its best. That's Ovens and Murray netball at its best, and a draw was probably a fitting result, ladies.
I think so, and the ball just seemed to go backwards and forwards, and I think that was the defensive pressure of both teams, particularly in those defensive units as we talk about our goal defence goalkeeper and that wing defence role. And then with the hand of the centre in there as well, we saw a lot of 1% touches. So I think both teams moving forward will want to make sure that that defensive pressure is there, but it's the 1%, the little passes, the little instances where room for error can't happen in these close games are things that they will want to clean up.
And I said it all game, but that scoreboard pressure is so integral, and you can see it particularly in the shooters in that last quarter. You know, the scoreboard is right there, particularly with the North Albury girls. They can see it, and we just had a few little missed shots that perhaps we didn't see. I think Nat Hegney and Colhagen for North were really consistent just until those last final moments, and it was probably the same with the Raiders. They, of course, were trailing. But I think that that's a big takeaway for them. We heard Mackenzie House say that this is the toughest game they've had in terms of how close it was. So training under pressure and shooting under pressure has got to be a goal for them as they head into training this week.
Yeah, and what a great way. We're 5 rounds in. We've got a draw, and a really, really well fought out draw too. We can't split them.
Well, ladies, unfortunately, that's all we've got time for today on O&M Live Netball. We're going to head up to the football box for the pre-game on the other side of the break. But a great game of netball here, ladies, and looking forward to next week as Cora will take on Yarrawonga.
That will be fantastic, and I think we will really see how our competition is sitting for some of these ladder leaders in Corowa and also in 3rd place Yarrawonga. So I'm really looking forward to seeing it. Thanks, guys, for a great hit out today.
Hannah, looking forward to bringing the games here next week, and a big well done to both of you ladies today.
Thanks, Gus. Yeah, I think next week could very well be as close as it was this week, so you won't want to miss it.
Absolutely. That's why we say you won't miss a thing on O&M Live. And a big thanks to Luke Chilcott and the team at Wangaratta Indigo Computers for putting the live stream today, to Travis Cartwright and Cartwright Productions, the best camera crew in the business, and to Trent Geddes pushing the buttons back at 2AY. We're going to take a break, and on the other side of this, Blake Panda-Escott and Chris Mitchell are with you for O&M Live pre-game. This has been O&M Live Netball, thanks to McRae Motors, a 42 all draw between the North Albury Hoppers and the Wodonga Raiders. My name's Gus McLeod. You're listening to O&M Live, and on O&M Live, you won't miss a thing.
Watching the game at home is good, but watching the game on the big screen with all your mates, all the atmosphere and the great food and beer is pretty hard to beat. And it's all here at the locker room at the SSNA.
0.0% alcohol. This changes everything.
Rewrite the rules. Carlton 0.
The new Nissan Navara has landed at McRae Nissan with a tougher, more rugged design, Nissan intelligent mobility, advanced off-road capabilities, and a host of on-road refinement. Test drive one today at McRae Nissan.
Looking for somewhere great to eat? Check out Social Dining and Bar. And right now, you can get a seafood basket served with chips, salad, and tartare sauce from just $18. Come and be part of it all at Social Dining and Bar at the SSNA.
From entertainment to news and subscriptions in between, manage select subscriptions in one place with Optus SubHub. Streamline your paid subscriptions and save up to 10%. It starts with yes.
Did someone say KFC?
I don't care. I love it.
Go where you can live and learn locally. Go where there's industry qualified trainers. Go where students come first. Go for the community. Go for the choice of 120 courses across 11 campuses. Go where there's free TAFE. Go for it with GoTAFE.
Adroit Insurance and Risk, your local insurance advisor, able to tailor insurance programs to support your business.
And we're proud to support our local community.
The new Nissan Navara has landed at McRae Nissan with a tougher, more rugged design, Nissan intelligent mobility, advanced off-road capabilities, and a host of on-road refinement. Test drive one today at McRae Nissan.
Hi, I'm Kylie King. I first fell in love with this region as the Prime News sports presenter. Sometimes this feels like my second home. I love our historic towns and vibrant cities, our passion for sport, and of course the people who make it special. And now I get to share what's important in our region with Kev Polton. So join us, Kylie and Kev for breakfast, weekday mornings from 6 on 2AY and 3NE.